Hi friends, and welcome back to another video. I know it's been a couple weeks since I've put one out. It's just been super busy. And to be quite honest, I haven't really had any inspiration. But now I've decided I'm going to do a book haul today. I've actually gotten a good amount of books in the last couple months. And that's a whole nother topic for 2026. Probably need to go on a book buying ban because you probably can't see it in the video, but I have books all on the ground. And obviously, if you can see behind me, I've got open space on my shelf, but that's because I'm trying to make room for the books that I'm reading, and then I can put them on my shelf. But without further ado, we are going to talk about all of the new books that I have recently gotten. English is hard, but it's okay. The first book is Mate by Ali Hazelwood. So this is a book that is centered in the same world as Bride. I believe this one follows one of the characters that we met in Bride. I'd have to confirm that though, because it's been, I don't remember if I read Bride last year or what I did, but I mean, obviously it was good. There's only one part I was like, but you know, it is what it is. But I love Ali Hazelwood's writing, and I really think she did a good job with her first like fantasy, paranormal romance. And so I'm looking forward to reading this one as well. And this one is actually the Walmart exclusive edition because it is green on the cover. I just really liked this one. Plus, it was a good price at Walmart when I was there, and I just had to pick it up. But looking forward to reading this one by Ali Hazelwood. I've got to redo my TBR soon. So this might jump up on the list. The next two books I'm going to talk about is a duology, and the second book just recently came out. So might marathon these. I've heard really good things about it, but it is The Silver Blood Promise by James Logan. And then the second one is The Black Fire Blade as well. So I got the paperback editions for these. I had just heard really good things about them. I forgot what the first one's about. So I'm going to read you guys the synopsis, and maybe it will intrigue your interest like it did me when I read it for the first time. Lucan Gardova is a card sharp academy dropout and, thanks to a duel that ended badly, the disgraced heir to an ancient noble house. His days consist of cheap wine, rigged card games, and wondering how he might win back the life he threw away. When Lucan discovers that his estranged father has been murdered by unknown assailants, he finds fresh purpose. Deprived of his chance to make amends for his mistakes, he vows to unravel the mystery behind his father's death. His search leads him to Safrona, fabled city of merchant princes where anything can be bought if one has the coin. Lucan only seeks the truth, but instead he finds danger and secrets in every shadow. For in Safrona, everything has a price, and the price of truth is the deadliest of all. So, and then the little thing on the bottom says, relentlessly entertaining, defiantly idealistic, a daring debut filled to the brim with classic fantasy fun. So I'm not quite sure like what fantasy elements are in this because the synopsis didn't really say anything, but I am excited to find out what it is. Obviously, it takes place in a fantasy world, but what type of fantasy elements are there? Is there magic? Is there different creatures? So I am super, super intrigued by this. I definitely need to pick it up soon. And who doesn't like a fantasy murder mystery? Then the next one I got, and I got this in a book box. I've started subscribing to this fantasy romance book box subscription called Alluria, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. But so far, it is a little bit more expensive than when I subscribe to Book the Month. But this one is straight fantasy romance, and you get 3 books to choose from. And you can just pick which one you want. You can add on, you can pick all 3 if you want for a price to add to it. But so far, I've only been keeping it to 1. But this one is Our Vicious Oaths by Annie Davenport. And this, I mean, the cover is gorgeous. And if you look at the sprayed edges, and these books are pretty heavy. Like the inside hardcover is like nothing special. It's just got the Aurelia like A on it. But the books so far that I've gotten are like very, very good quality. So I'm super excited to read this one. I will read it to you real quick, the synopsis, because obviously I am not very good at remembering synopsis that I read, and so we will read it again together. Arch Princess of the Aether Dominion, Kadasha, wants nothing to do with Fae politics. She is a warrior first and foremost and believes her greatest strength lies in leading her squadron of elite-winged serpent flyers and protecting her homeland. But bound since infancy to be betrothed to the Hyperion High King, ruler of all the dominions, she has no choice but to do what men have chosen for her. Repulsed by the idea, she decides to spend one last night of freedom in the arms of a dangerous stranger who takes her to sexual heights she's never experienced before, but who is only using Kadisha to set a trap for the High King. For the High King and the kings of his 6 dominions are responsible for the decimation of the Apollyon court, and the court's new king, Malachi, wants his pound of flesh. On Kadisha's wedding day, Malachi and his special forces attack. Her father is killed, and Malachi wounds the High King, ultimately taking Kadisha as a hostage back to his land. But she is no true hostage. The two form a pact. She will help lure the High King so Malachi can kill him once and for all, and he in turn will not harm Kadisha or the Aether people. Inasmuch as Kadisha hates politics, she is now the queen of her folk. Fae bonds are unbreakable, and so, perhaps, is the attraction Kadisha and Malachi feel for each other. For even as they must publicly display their connection to provoke the High King's jealousy, they struggle to resist the powerful allure between them in order to achieve their ultimate goals. This is obviously going to have, I think, fantastic like romance plot to it. I think it will also, like, the main male character is going to be morally gray, but I also think there's going to be a really good plot element to it as well based on the synopsis. So I am definitely intrigued to pick this up soon and see what it's all about. The next book is Alchemized by Senlin Yu. This thing is heavy. I mean, it's a chunker, but my goodness. I think this thing weighs, it might weigh 5 pounds. Like, I really want to like weigh it. It's crazy. And this will definitely be up on my TBR here, probably early in the new year, just because I've heard fantastic things about it. I've also heard that this author wrote a fan fiction that people are literally raving over called Manacled. I found the PDF and downloaded it. So I do plan to read that as well. But Manacled, just for a little tidbit, is a fan fiction Harry Potter, and it has something to do with Draco and Hermione, and I'm super interested in it. But this I'm also interested in. So I will definitely be picking this up soon. I don't want to read this. I read the synopsis, I think, at least once when I picked it up. But I don't want to read it again because I want to kind of go into it blind, especially since I forgot what the synopsis was. But I will read the back. And it's just, I mean, the cover gets me, but here's the back. What is it you think you're protecting in that brain of yours? The war is over. Holdfast is dead. The eternal flame extinguished. There's no one left for you to save. Like, questions. I mean, I've got to read this. So, yeah, this is a definite pick up soon. Guys, I'll just tell you this right now. The reason it's so freaking heavy is because the pages are fantastic quality. Absolutely fantastic quality. This will be picked up soon. Of course, I say that for everything, but it will because I have to read this. The next one is the 6th Blood and Ash novel by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and that is The Primal of Blood and Bone. And I picked up the Target edition. I mean, it's black and white. You've got beautiful sprayed edges. I had to pick it up. I saw it and it's just gorgeous. I was trying to hold off and not buy the hardback because I have everything else in paperback and I wanted it to match. But to be quite honest, I've got mixed matched things. I mean, if you look on my shelf, like right there, I've got Agatar all in paperback except for the 5th one. And I've got Crescent City, the first one in paperback, and then the other 2 in hardback. And then it's the same thing with Stormlight Archives. All those in paperback, and I have the 5th one in hardcover. So to me, it really doesn't matter. And I really liked this. So I was like, sold, had to get it. But this is the 6th one in the series. I believe it's the last one. And I have yet to read the 5th one. That is on my list. And then I need to read her spin-off series that's in this world as well. But I've really enjoyed this. The only book that really kind of was like it wasn't her best in the series was, in my opinion, the 2nd one. She just didn't move the plot like I wanted her to. But then the 3rd and the 4th one were just perfect. Fantastic plot. The romance scenes were needed, like they were important, where in the 2nd one, in my opinion, like the 2nd book, I didn't think it could have been shrunk. Definitely could have been shrunk because there was way too much romance that wasn't necessary, in my opinion. And it didn't help move the plot. If the romance scenes move the plot, then it's good. But if it doesn't, it's just there for page filler. And I don't vibe with that very much. But I need to read the 5th one. That is on my list. And then I will read the 6th one. And I believe it's the final one. I believe this is the last one. I could be wrong. Because I've heard rumors that she's going to write another one in this timeline of Blood and Ash. But like, it's already 6 books long. Let's end it. Like, this should be the last one, I hope. So we'll see. But I'm excited. And this is just beautiful. Then I also picked up The Strength of the Few, which is the 2nd book in the Will of the Many series. This is the new cover. Now, You can flip the cover around to make it match the hardcover or the cover of the first one, because I didn't buy I bought Will of the Many with the original cover. I did not buy Will of the Many with the new cover that came out. Now the new cover that came out is gorgeous and it matches this one, but I really just don't. I'm okay with things mix matching to a certain extent, especially since the first one, that is the first one, and not a lot of people are going to have that. So, in my personal opinion, that book is going to be worth more than the book with the new cover. But this one also has sprayed edges. My other one does not, but that is okay. I obviously have heard fantastic things about this series, and I really need to pick up The Will of the Many, and that is on my list. So I plan to hopefully get through that series in a timely manner. We'll see how my reading goes, but I'm so glad I have this. The next two books I received from Broken Binding. I did get some more, but they're kind of like cut in behind, and it's been months since I've had them. So this is the most recent, and it is Kings of the Wild by micheleschambs. This, I guess, is about a band of mercenaries, and they used to go through this world, just, living it up, doing this, doing that, making money and all that stuff. Well, they're basically retired at this point, but one of the guys from the bands, his, I believe, daughter got taken, and so he tries to get the band back together for one last mission to help save his daughter, and that is what this is about. And this edition by the Broken Binding is gorgeous. I mean, it looks like the Colosseum in the back, and it's got, a lion, a dragon, some ram thing or whatever, and then you've got them in the back. It looks like you've got a wizard and you've got some knights and some brutes, and the sprayed edges are just gorgeous. And so the second book I'll probably get it in January, but it is my December. So I'm excited to read this series. I've got obviously a lot of Broken Binding editions that I have yet to read, but they are on my list. It's a problem. Being a reader and book obsessed is a problem, but it's a good problem to have, in my opinion. I also started a new subscription with the Broken Binding, and it is the fantasy and sci-fi subscription. And so right now it is every other month, but I think sometime in 2026 it's going to start being every month. But in the fantasy subscription that I'm in, that is like backlisted ones, so old works that then they turn into special editions. The sci-fi fantasy subscription is new works. So this one that I just got, so the first one was the new Witcher book, which I'm super excited about. I have yet to read the series, but I'm going to. But this one I got is All That We See or Seem by Ken Liu. Now, Ken Liu was the one that wrote the Dandelion series, and that is like right here underneath. And I have yet to read that too, but I've heard that one is absolutely fantastic. And I believe that one was his first big novel series that he got into, because he's normally a short story writer. But this one is I believe it's a sci-fi. At least when I read the synopsis when I got it, is more of a sci-fi read. So I'm super excited about this, and the cover is absolutely gorgeous. The blues, greens, purples, and then if you look at the sprayed edges, I mean, it's gorgeous. And this is me getting to that subscription is like pushing me to read more sci-fi, and I really want to do that. So I need to start doing that because in my personal opinion, sci-fi is basically like fantasy. It's just more technological, futuristic kind of thing where most fantasy is more like medieval past based is more kind of like how it's portrayed as. Um, but then I believe there's going to be a new genre of sci-fi fantasy coming in the future where you mix magic and technology, and I think that's going to be absolutely fantastic. But I'm super excited to read this one. Now, I have two books that are the same thing, and this will be my next read. I'm finishing a book right now. Hopefully, I'll finish it this week. But that is none other than Brimstone by Callie Hart, which is the second book in Quicksilver. Oh my gosh, Quicksilver was absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to get into Brimstone. And I mean, look at, I mean, it's gorgeous. I love this edition. But you know, I also had to get the Target edition because this cover is gorgeous. There's nothing else different about the book other than the cover and the sprayed edges. And it's got the little fox feet and the little sword, and it's got a little ribbon in it. But other than that, everything, like if you open up the hardcover's the same, the end pages are the same, everything is the same except for the cover. So, but I have a problem, and with books that I like to get different editions. So, but yes. Most of you will probably know what Quicksilver is about. It is a fae fantasy with vampires. Very, very interesting and very, very good. So this one is the second one in the book, and the third book comes out November of 2026. So I'm super excited about that one. We only have to wait 11 months. Hopefully, cross your fingers that it does not get delayed. I'm super excited about that. The next book is The Dark is Descending, and this is the third, and I believe it is the final book in the Nightfall novel series by Chloe C. Yaranda. The first book was super, super good. I really enjoyed the first book. The second book didn't grip me until the end. So of course I have to finish it. So this is the third, and I believe it is the final book in the series. And it's like, oh, it's gorgeous. It's red. I mean, I have the other two. You probably can't see them. They're up there. But I love the actual like design on the hardcover. It's gorgeous. So you get that. She usually has like some artwork in it as well. I'm not sure if she does. I haven't really looked through it. But basically, oh yeah, there's that. Okay, so there is some. But yeah, basically, this story is about, so it's got humans, it's got fae, it's got vampires, and in the first book, it is about this girl who, she can't really remember who she is. She just kind of wound up on a doorstep, and she thinks the man that she's with loves her, but finds out that that's not true. So her and a friend are like, one of her friends got selected to go into this like series of trials to find this key, and then to become, basically it I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Basically, whoever wins in this series of trials, their territory is protected from the vampires for another 100 years. So this is only a 100-year trial, and you learn about why there's these trials, like at the end of the first book. But her friend ends up getting killed, and so she takes her place. And so through this series of getting to this capital city and going through the trials, she learns a little bit more about who she is. And this guy, Knight, she learns more about him as well. And so the first book was super, super good. I really, really enjoyed it. And the second book, it didn't grip me like I wanted it to, but that's okay. The ending got me, and so now I've got to find out what's going on. So this one will be picked up fairly quickly because I really want to finish the series. But this actually just came out yesterday, so that's why I got it, and I'm showing it to you. The next book is called Fallen City by Adrienne Young, and I love Adrienne Young. I have not read any of her fantasy series, so this will be the first one. I've read more of her like urban magical realism kind of stories, and I've really enjoyed it. She is a fantastic writer. So I'm trying to get some of her like backlist ones, so that way I can read those as well. But this is her newest one, and I'm super excited about this. I will read you the synopsis because I forgot about it, but it is super, I mean, I might have to pick this up fairly soon, which is sad because I don't know when the second book is coming out. Luca Mattis has one purpose: to carry on the family name, maintaining its presence in the Forum once his powerful and cruel uncle dies. But his novice ship with the city's philosopher places him in the middle of a catastrophe that will alter the destiny of his people. Maris Casperia was raised amid the strategic maneuvering of the Citadel's inner circle, and she knows what her future holds: a lifetime of service to a corrupt city. But her years of serving as a novice to the last priestess who possesses the stolen magic of the old war have made her envision a different kind of future for Izara. When she meets Luca, a fated chain of events is set into motion that will divinely entangle their lives. As a secret comes to light and throws the city into chaos, Luca and Maris hatch a plot to create a calculated alliance that could tip the scales of power. But when an execution forces Luca to become the symbol of rebellion, he and Maris are thrown into opposite sides of a holy war. As their fates diverge, they learn they are at the center of a story that gods are writing, and even if they can find their way back to each other, there may be nothing left. Like, that makes you want to pick it up and read it now. That's how good this sounds. So, and it's not super long either. So I feel like this will be a super quick read and a fantastic read. The next book is Red City by Mary Lou. This, I mean, I've heard really good things about this one. It's like it kind of, I've heard things about it being similar to Jade City, like with mafia kind of feel to it. But it's it's like a love story as well. So I'm really interested in this, and it's got, the sprayed edges to match. And I'm not going to read the synopsis, but I will read this little thing on the back here. It says alchemy and ambition, power and perfection, love and lies. Welcome to Angel City. Don't let it break your heart. So, I mean, it's gonna have love, it's going to have some type of magic, it's going to have power struggles. I mean, it's gonna have all kinds of stuff, and I'm super excited to read this. The next book I got was Conform by Ariel Sullivan. I found this on an Instagram reel, and I forget what her name is, but she highly recommended this book. And so I just had to pick it up. Basically, this is going to be a love triangle. If you don't like love triangles, then maybe this is not going to be for you. I don't mind love triangles. It'll just like, if when I decide which one I want the character to be with, and if she ends up not being with that character, it will make me mad, but it's all about the process. But this is kind of similar, they said, to Hunger Games, kind of in a way. But I will read the synopsis of this one because it is not very known. But yeah, so here it is. A lifelong outcast, 27-year-old Emmeline spends her days alone, sorting ancient art for destruction. Centuries after a catastrophic war nearly decimated humanity, society is now ruled by an elusive and technologically advanced group called the Elun, who constantly monitor the population's health and mandate procreation contracts. But her bleak existence is shattered when, for the first time in decades, an Elun named Colin takes a mate, Emmeline. Baffled as to why she was chosen, Emmeline is swept into the dangerous game of the courting phase, where one wrong move can mean elimination. Soon she discovers that a clandestine rebellion is rising, and that her mate may be keeping secrets of his own. Colin is confusing, both cold and protective, and worse, she finds herself drawn to the very last person she should be falling for, Hal, a member of the Resistance. As she draws closer to both Colin and Hal, the Elum exercise their power in increasingly brutal ways, forcing Emmeline to question everything. Most of all, whether she'll have to give up her heart or even her life to stop them. So this, I think, is going to be super, super good. And I'm not sure if this is the first in a series or if this is just a novel. So I'll have to read it and find out on how the ending is, and we'll see. But I'm excited. The last book, and this is my recent pickup from Loria, and that is The Wolf King by Lauren, and I'm going to pronounce this so wrong, but Palfanriman. This is Aurelia's cover design and sprayed edges. The second one you can already pre-order on Amazon. So depending on if I like this or not will determine if I pre-order that one, or if I'm probably going to like it, and I'm probably going to want the second one, but it's whether or not I want to wait and get the matching one from Aloria, or if I want to get the one from Amazon. So we'll see. But I love this. I mean, it's bright up at the top and it goes down and then it gets dark. So I've heard fantastic things about this, and I really, really want to pick it up soon. I mean, it's been a while really since and I think the last time I read anything, well, yeah, I guess you could say with wolves, Bride was a werewolf one. And then I read Fury Bound, or maybe it's I forget what it's called. Fury Bound, I think, is the second one that's coming out. I'll put it up here, the picture of what I'm talking about. But that one is humans, vampires, and wolves. But the humans are like connected to wolves. So it's a wolf vampire thing, but still super, super good. And there's like magic and all kinds of stuff. And I read it on Kindle Unlimited and it was fantastic. And I've already pre-ordered it to come. And I think it's coming in March. And then the second one's coming out in May. And I cannot wait to devour it. But this one, I can't wait to devour either. I'm super excited for it. So yeah, I've got lots of reading to do, guys. I just have way too many books and not enough time to read them. But we will eventually get through all of the books at some point. But of course, as I read and as new things come out, I just, keep buying and buying. So maybe going on a book buying band here in the very near future. So we'll see. Thank you for tuning in and watching the video today. I really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments below what recent books you have added to your shelves and or TBR. I would absolutely love to know. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and be good people.
When you feel it's hopeless, when you think that you lost, oh, I will take your hand and we'll rise up from the